Missed with the money, his first invoice, and we're going right now, but it's getting the money.
I'm making a motion, the mayor sign that so you can get started with it. I'll second that we can't have that as a report what it's
So we could get one of these?
We keep one.
It is, one place just was, it's one.
These are signed, you better make a motion.
We did.
We done did it.
I made a motion.
Jerry seconded.
Okay, on roll call vote, okay?
Can they be
You
used
keep
for
that.
parts?
Okay.
Some of that stuff, is some of that stuff be used for parts?
No. What's wrong with it? Scrap for.
Parts that are bad.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
but see,
you
that's
can
what we're
use
talking
those
about.
for
Could he
the
use
other
some of those
three,
parts
the
for
other
those?
three.
There you
Those
go.
four we're taking
It's
out.
bad shape though, like 3.
I understand
the
that.
original pump, right? Right.
We don't want the parts to go to waste because they can be used to keep those.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Running,
still
even
keep
though
those.
Some of the stuff is outrageous.
And the 2 is submersible, right?
Well, it's actually on the ground.
I just don't want to see stuff like that
So
go to
it's
waste
we-
when we
it's
can
we-
have it for backup.
It ain't been said earlier.
So I know some of it's bad, some of it's good, but until we get funding for those other 3 stations, we'll be able to have a little something to scrap with it.
Here you go, Paul. There's 6 copies of it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Just
keep
make
your
sure
letter.
when those
Okay.
are taken
Okay.
out, you can
I
get it.
need the original KU bill to send in with the check.
Okay.
What, you taking a check payable for the city of Cumberland, or how are you handling that?
That's for the Tri-City Utilities Authority Pump Station number 1.
They pay it.
We pay it,
Oh,
but the
okay.
bill comes to the city of Cumberland in care of the city of Cumberland for the Tri-City Utilities Authority Pump Station number 1, and that was $42, but
Okay.
it's Tri-City Utilities
Yeah,
Authority is
we
paying.
already approved that too.
We need a roll call on that in just a minute whenever she gets back, okay? Do you have anything else, Paul, or just,
I don't unless y'all have any, I'm trying to think.
what's the ending
Anything else I can
date?
talk about?
What's a new conclusion date on the mitigation project now? It was October, right?
The
Is it still October
October of what?
2014?
2014, that's the deadline.
Yeah.
That's the deadline for it. We're hoping not have to ask for an extension. Securing the funding, once they approved it, we really didn't anticipate that it would take so long. We thought that they might allow us to have, would give us some funding instead of having to go through the bank and loan it. But that wasn't the case.
We'll get a good test run on how long it's going to take to draw down the money, won't we?
It shouldn't take too long to draw it down.
It's got to go through different.
I
Yeah.
understand that. After we get the draw down. True.
Floods, fires.
One thing you can guarantee is your manpower and materials. You can't guarantee no money.
Okay, we need a roll call vote on that last motion there. It was, motion's made by, to approve this,
Charles,
I made a
seconded by
motion,
Jerry.
Jerry
Jerry
seconded.
seconded.
and a roll call vote.
Bush,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes, most definitely.
Jerry Gillum,
Yes.
Bon Gillum, Jarvis,
Yes.
Raleigh.
Yes.
Okay. And the next item is Miss.
Robin, thanks, Mayor.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Paul. If Miss Bailey needs to have another meeting she has to attend.
Yes, they're waiting on me. I've given them. So this will be short and sweet. I'm just here tonight. I need to let you all know that the hanging baskets will be here and they'll be in full bloom by the last week in April or the first week in May. And we want to get those up and ready before the Black Bear Festival, which is my next thing on the list. But before we go on, I need to make sure that we're still going to have the cooperation of the maintenance department, because last year I know they watered for us like 2 or 3 times, I think a week, because those do require, you know, some water. And so we had a pump made, and they took it around in the back of their truck after they would get the garbage done in the mornings, and they would go around it.
We still have that pump and stuff? I
Yeah,
shouldn't see
yeah,
no
it's down
problem
there.
doing it then.
Okay, and I don't know if y'all need to make a motion for that or what, so we just.
Oh, let's do it.
You need a motion made for watering the flowers?
I don't know if you need a motion.
No, I don't think we need a motion for that.
I mean,
kind
if we
of stuff.
do, that's fine, but I-
That's-
I don't know.
You're restricting.
That was just one thing that I was gonna
A
mention.
motion on that would restrict our services, you know, and I think that's an
It
administrative
worked out
function.
really well last year, no one would thank you all for that. And all the help that, you know, for putting up the Christmas lights and all those things, everything worked out really well this year. So we appreciate it and we thank you. But the next reminder is the Black Bear Festival is going to be May the 10th and the 11th of this year. And we already have obtained the encroachment permit for Main Street down here. But this year we have so many things that are coming, which is a good thing. And I brought a poster, which you can pass that around if you want to. And that's just what Susie's got put together so far. She's very talented at that. So that's some of the entertainment that we're going to have and some of the things that are going to take place. Not all of it yet, but some of it. And we're needing extra space. So I'm asking if we can block off from behind the Black Bear Market to the corner of the Maynard building. And that will, it'll still make it accessible for people that live back on Back Street to get their, in their, you know, places where they live, get their vehicles back there. But it'll block off enough space that we'll have enough room to maybe do the car show and the cornhole tournament. And I've got a lumberjack show that will be here. And they're coming in from Florida, and they'll do 2 shows on Friday and 3 shows on Saturday. And Pete Pointer has gave us permission for them to put that over there in his lot. So if we block that part off, it'll make it safer. That way with kids crossing and stuff right in that area, there won't be traffic coming through that upper or lower part, whichever one you want to call it, there on Cumberland Avenue. So that's a city street, and you all have to make the decision just to shut off that one part of that so that, you know, we can use it. So you probably will have to.
Can people still get to their businesses and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it won't be a problem with cars or?
No.
I make a motion.
I'll take it.
Thank you. And we will also.
Is that Cumberland Avenue?
We'll definitely help. Thank you.
But they're there 24/7.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate you all, and thank you for your time.
Do you need your poster back?
You need your
Oh,
poster
yes,
back?
Susie.
Wayne, did you get that?
Last thing she said.
Did you catch on the street that she wants blocked off? Okay.
Yeah.
Portion of
Cameron,
Cumberland
you got
Avenue.
that block in there.
Well, see, you know more about it.
Facebook's a wonderful asset.
There you
I'll
go.
just tell you.
Okay.
Have a safe trip.
All right, thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a committee reports. I've asked all 3 supervisors to be here tonight. Well, Wayne's here and Robin's here, and Chris and Frank are here. So keep in mind that these fellows work for me, okay? And they have done nothing wrong, in my opinion. So if you think they've done something wrong, don't jump them because I told them to do it. Jump me, okay? I'm responsible for the outcome and for the results of what they do. So, just if you would, when they make their committee report, let them finish from beginning to end. Then if you have any questions, I'm sure they'll give you an opportunity to ask them, okay? So who wants to go first? Frank, you want to, oh, Chris, go ahead. Go ahead, Chris. Oh, Frank, okay.
First, I'd like to start off, nice to meet you, Jerry. It's the first time I have met you. And a lot of this don't pertain to a few individuals on this council, but I've basically, I'd just like to start by saying that this ditch project, if it has been a problem to this city or to this council, and if I have went about it in the wrong way, then I apologize. But what I would like to know, and many of the concerned citizens would like to know in this city, is why is this issue went on for so long and not without being addressed? When the cost to this city is in the thousands and the man hours in the hundreds. Okay. It appears to me that some of this council has spent more time complaining, harassing, and slandering me about how this project has been done than the time they have spent in the last 10 years trying to figure out a solution to this problem. I also have read the minutes from the last few months or so, and all I keep thinking about on these topics that involve myself and the maintenance department is as such. Carolyn Elliott said, "Why in the world would you clean out a shed for the tourism?" My answer to that is to put the Christmas decorations away that has been the responsibility for the maintenance department for over 20 years. Okay? When we have, she's also went on to say that we have manholes that are open and need to be worked on. That's undisputed. That is a fact, no doubt about it. But my thought is, where is the budget? Where is the finances, the funds for me to do this kind of work? Okay. David Dixon asked, do we not salt the streets of Cumberland or push the snow off the roads or out of the way? Answer to that is, we have already used $3,400 worth of salt this year. And with no budget, we do not have the funds to purchase more salt or the $500 we need for the lift motor for the snowplow. But at the same time, the salt spreader has been down since the winter before last and is now fully operational. The dump truck has been down for at least 3 years, and it also is now fully operational. Okay. David Dixon also stated that he has watched people all the time pull up their vehicle and get salt. My thought is, if Mr. Dixon is an elected official in this city, why has he not called the city police if he has witnessed theft of city property? Or why did he not at least take pictures like he does the maintenance workers while they are trying to do their jobs? Well, to the best of my knowledge, taking pictures of the men working and following around town is not his job.
This is a
time to shut.
Listen,
This is a personal council
You
matter.
got city business, we'll listen to it,
Take off
otherwise.
this is city business.
No, it's
No, it's
not.
not. This is jumping on council members, it's out of the
And
question.
give us a
A
report
report of what the
his
maintenance
business.
department is doing.
It
That's
doesn't
what I
work
was sitting here
both ways
thinking. Yeah.
because you have slandered me.
No, why don't you be quiet?
I cannot go any place in this public.
Not
without
public
being
comment.
It's not public comment yet. No,
He's done,
no, you will not.
he's done a good job.
You all
Who said
represent
he
this
did?
city. And these are the people of this city.
Yes, we do. But you were supposed to be up here right now giving us a report on your department.
On your
Not on
department.
your
And
personal.
I gave
Not on your
report
personal
last month.
opinion
Not your
towards
And
personal
somebody.
everything I'm doing right here is off of that, and it was questions you
And I
had
am
to
more,
me.
and I.
No, it wasn't questioned you, it was questioned to the mayor.
To the mayor, it was not to you.
Off of my report.
No, it was not.
No.
It was questioned to the mayor what we're doing on private property. And it's still in question.
Another example.
Let's, hold it a second, Frank. Let's avoid any further controversy. Just hold off, just go ahead and let it go. And
You got a
just,
financial
I'll
report,
be
give
happy
it.
to have a copy of that. I'd be more than happy to read
Well, a
it.
man should finish because what he's doing is the right thing.
No.
He's done the job of person.
wait,
He is supposed to be telling us right now what is going on in
Financially.
this department financially.
Listen.
and stuff. That's what it's getting paid for
And
right
I did
now.
that last month, and like Leslie Bush wanted an example of what I meant by rebuilding relationships with this city. Was that not stated?
I don't remember.
It's
I
right in the
think I
minutes.
asked that question.
He wanted to know what it meant to be rebuilding their relationship with this city. Was that not stated? I've got them answers.
You're taking things personal, Mr.
And they're not, they're
Riles.
directed at
And
the
we
mayor,
have
not
never, at one
individuals.
time,
Have you read the papers?
we have never, wait, I'm talking.
Yeah, did you let me finish?
Go ahead. Finish.
I'm not going to because I was asked not to.
no,
All right.
no,
It's
no.
not-
I told them, I asked them,
Come in here and
You
start a
told
bunch
him
of
to come in
crap.
and
I
start
asked-
that stuff with us,
No,
evidently.
he did not.
Yes, you did.
I asked him if I could
I asked
respond
you all
to your
not, I asked you all,
comments.
let him finish his comments.
It's
Not personal
Right.
tax.
No,
It's
that's
not-
personal tax, has nothing to do with city business.
Is you
Nobody
accusing
ever
me of
brought his
stealing a
name up.
personal attack?
Nobody ever brought your name up at any council
We
meeting.
have
He
never.
said, is there a flashing light in one of the members of our truck? You said it is the maintenance supervisors.
I did not say
It's
that.
in them minutes, read it.
It ain't in the minutes.
No.
I never said it.
No, he said.
Go listen to the tape.
He
It's
said
in
it
the
was in
minutes.
a truck,
I
but
don't
he
give
did
a
not
crap
say
what it's in.
supervisor's truck, no.
Did
Well,
you just
we're
approve
not
the minutes?
accomplishing,
What are you talking about, buddy? There's in your name ain't in there.
No, you said the maintenance supervisor. You're
I
right, you
did not.
say my name.
I did not say the maintenance supervisor at one time.
You know, we're not accomplishing anything.
no,
You know, all we're doing is
Start a bunch of bullshit.
And that's exactly what I did not want.
kind
I
of
want
watch your
an end
language.
to
Mr.
this.
Don't
Ross.
watch
Because
your
I've got
You
language.
want your
one
language.
goal.
I
And
am
that's
watching
to
I heard
help
you
this
say a
city
lot worse
make
than
a
it. What'd you
better
say
place
last
for
week
everybody
about
and
GD and
our
all
children
that?
to grow up.
On
What
this
word?
council
Oh,
has
my, shut
ever
up.
said
You
Mr.
shut up.
Ross does such and such. Our complaints is with the way the mayor handles some things. It's
Not
never
people.
been with you, never has been with you,
Then why is it
Mr.
me
Ross.
that's getting drugged through the mud?
Because the
If it's
mayor,
been done, it's been done with him.
He's
It ain't
not
us.
Everything he tells me to do, he shows me in the KRS that he is perfectly able to give me the permission to do that
that's perfectly
project.
fine, we have the right
That's what he
to
shows you.
How,
What
how
we have
about,
to
how
do
about
is
take away $2 from a city employee in the maintenance department and turn that $2 over to you? Have you found a KRS on that yet?
That was not my call.
But have you found the
We don't
KRS that
have-
backed that up when he did
Wait,
that?
He took supervisor
said-
pay away
you
from a
said
person
he
that is not
showed-
the supervisor anymore.
No. You
We
said he
froze
showed you a
wages.
KRS for everything that he's done as far as that. I want to know about taking $2 away from another maintenance employee,
Well-
which we've got paperwork, and handing it over to you.
Let's not let this get out of hand. I'll show you the.
You let
I don't think that's
Charles,
justifiable.
let me-
I
let
said
me-
if I was that employee, I'd be jumping straight up and down in this
Okay.
office right at this
I'll tell
meeting,
you
right
what
at
you
this
need to just
time.
get up and resign. Save
I had
us a lot of
nothing to do
headache.
with it. I don't
You had
think-
nothing to do
right.
with it, but you
Listen.
gladly accepted it.
Listen, I'll show you the KRS, okay?
I hope so,
I'll show you
because
the
I'm
authority.
furious over that, because Mr. Davis has been here a lot longer than you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he should have never had his pay reduced unless somebody wrote him up, if somebody sanctioned him, if somebody done
Well,
something, that
let's-
should have been justifiable.
We're
for
getting
pulling
off
that
subject
$2.
again. We're getting
we
out of,
brought
out
the
of.
subject when Mr. Ross
Let's,
started.
let us,
personal tax.
okay, let's
We
have
resolve never-
this.
We have never, Mr. Ross, trashed you
Nope.
or your job. Never. I'm seeing some improvements that you've been here. I'm not saying that.
It was also stated in the last minutes that you have seen no improvements.
No,
And you
no,
wanted to
no.
know what this big city cleanup was.
No.
Then
No,
where is
no,
these
no.
minutes come
Dilapidated
from? Because
buildings
everybody
are not
hears
your
them out of
fault.
these minutes.
You show it to me.
Dilapidated
May I?
buildings are not your,
No.
not
May
your
I,
thing.
please, can
No.
I see a minute, the minutes?
I didn't say that.
That was the planning and zoning commission.
I apologize, I just want to stop because this is the last thing I wanted.
Well,
All I
listen,
want
Mr.
to
Ross,
be
we
is
do
left
not.
alone and let make improvements
We
in
have
this city.
never trash-mouthed you personally, ever. And we have no intentions of it.
When I first started,
You have
you
a
put my
job.
application information in the newspaper.
Yeah.
You stated my wages in the newspaper. That is for public record, not public display.
I didn't
It's
state it in the
okay.
I have
paper.
also been accused of trespassing.
I didn't
have
write
been
it in the
accused of
paper.
theft.
I didn't write
And
it
every
in the
bit of it
paper.
goes to the newspaper. I cannot go
Who
anywhere
accused
in
you
this
of-
city without
who-
hearing about these
Who accused you
issues.
of a theft?
Huh?
Who accused you of theft?
Well, it was not said directly. It was said, why is there a flashing light in one of the city employees' workers? David Dixon says, I will not state the person's name. Charles Riley says, it is the maintenance supervisors.
He did not. He
In
said
those
it's a blue
minutes, that's what it
truck.
says.
No.
okay?
I remember.
In those minutes,
He
that's
never
what it
one
says.
time said maintenance supervisor.
No.
Oh, it's in the minutes.
Here, you better put it in the minutes, but
That
I
were
ain't what we
approved.
said. Listen to your tape.
But nobody has never personally attacked you, Mr. Ross, at all.
Frank,
I've even got calls at my house
Well, I'm sorry.
telling my wife, watch what you're doing because they're following you around taking pictures.
I have
How
never
did this
followed you
involve my
around.
wife?
I have never followed you around. Have no intention to. I can go down.
Frank, I'm gonna speak for the whole committee.
Goodness.
I don't think they have any grudge or any hard feelings toward you. Matter of fact, I think that you're doing an excellent job
I appreciate
at
that,
doing
Rob.
what is to be done in the city of Cumberland. And that you should be commended for.
Absolutely.
What the mayor is doing is wrong.
I know
That is personal between you all.
That's it.
That's
Now,
it.
all-
that's
And
where
that's
we're
where the
handling it.
professionalism
All
needs
of-
to come back, and the personal issues need to stay out that
There are
door.
no personal
all of
issues.
the, all of the
That's
issues,
our
all of
job.
the issues here, honestly, isn't directed at you.
Then you have my apologies. I should
I
not have.
think the
I'm
whole-
sorry,
I think
Mr.
the
Rhodes, you
whole
have been told that at
council
council meetings
been
that
told
it's
the wrong
never been a
thing.
personal
But
matter.
it keeps coming up.
No, it's not.
No.
We will, it is our job, we're elected officials, to see what happens to the money. If we see something that we think's not handled right, it's our job. These people want to jump us out here because we didn't ask
Exactly.
or do anything about it. It has never, and I have told you that in the previous council meetings, and I'm sure that's in the minutes, that it's never been a personal matter,
That's
ever,
right, ever.
ever.
But you just keep
But
doing a
you're
good
taking it
job
as
that you're doing.
personal thing, but it's
I
not.
personally think Frank has done a good job because, I mean, I called him last week and commended him on behind the high school.
Sure.
It was a dump, and I called, and it was 2 days later, and it was cleaned up, and I never saw anything be done that quickly. But it's not, nothing has been personally towards you, Frank. I really think you've done a good job, but this is
And
politics.
Frank, I want you to know me too, and that's what I need you. But yes, I saw some good things you've been doing.
Yeah.
I've not saw nothing bad you did, Frank.
I appreciate
I
it.
have
I
a
know,
point.
I know.
He just,
I mean, I'm really
Defenseless.
glad what
It
you
got
been doing.
so personal when my wife was
And,
called.
but I
That's
have-
when I.
That should
We
be-
didn't
that
smoke
should
with
be-
wife.
No.
Who
And
called
that's
this
why
one out? Man, I don't know.
I apologize.
I think
tell
we
you
got
what I
the
saw.
finest group of supervisors anyone could ask for sitting in this room here. And I'm proud of every one of you guys. And if there's anything that we have an issue with Carl, we flash it out here at this council
Yeah,
meeting, and
that's
it's
right.
gonna get mean.
That's what we're
And
elected
he
for.
does us the same way. If we do something wrong, he's gonna tell us, but it's never, you guys are the best of the best.
We've not had
If we
that.
have a personal issue, we will ask
They left his
to go back
papers.
to the bag under the proper procedure
That's right.
and discuss you. We will never sit out here and discuss
No, it didn't happen.
out here.
Not
It didn't happen.
I just don't understand how it's in the minutes then.
Because he's got a
Because
problem
everything
with
I
us, he's
took
gonna
down
put
came
stuff in
literally
there.
right off of the minutes.
Mr. Rouse, how long have you
Rumors you
been
got.
here?
6 months.
All right, 6 months. I worked for 6 months to get a set of minutes that finally I got from the mayor last week, last meeting. All right, there you go. There's you an example.
Once
6
again,
months to
that's
get those
not
minutes.
nothing to do with me.
No, I'm just telling you. So minutes are not necessarily what they're made out to be sometimes.
Yeah. We've asked for
Okay.
corrections hundreds of times.
Should we go on to the next
Go on
meeting
to-
then?
Well, I'd like to answer one question.
No, I thought we were
Leslie,
gonna get a report.
Can I
One-
just
but
ask
just-
one question? Carolyn, Charles, Leslie, David, do you believe that Frank Ross is doing a good job?
I've never said he wasn't.
I've
I have never said he was.
But do you believe that he's doing a good job now? Do you?
That
do you
is the
say
mayor's
That
responsibility.
is up to the mayor, it's not
That
up
is
to, we
not
can't
up to
tell.
us.
Well, I've heard from 3 council members that they believe that all the supervisors in our city are
I
doing a
think
good
that,
job.
I think you are asking for a personal issue, and I
I'm
refuse
just
to
asking
answer.
if you, they've stated
I have
that
told
they
Mr.
believe
Ross-
he's doing a
That's
good
I
job.
am not
Do
answering
you
a
believe
personal
that he's
question.
doing a good job?
Well,
I'm not answering a personal
Terry,
question.
let me answer the question, okay?
Her comments, and we wouldn't be fair to ask any of the rest of them comments.
It's up to the mayor to
It's up to the
determine
mayor.
that he's doing a good
Okay.
job, not me.
Could I have enough,
Evaluate.
could I
It's
take,
not evaluated.
could I take, could I have enough time? Could I have-
volunteered to tell Mr. Ross what.
Could I answer?
Put them on the spot.
Could you give me 1 minute to answer his question? Frank Ross is an outstanding water supervisor. He is the best maintenance and organizer that this city has ever had the opportunity to hire. He's actually taken more on his job than he's required to do. He's repaired our trucks, our backhoes. He's got everything working properly. He's reduced the man. Didn't someone say a few moments ago that the overtime hours and the pays and the maintenance had been dropped considerably? He is responsible for doing that. He saved this city more money than any other person in any kind of a supervisory position. But we've got 3, 4 outstanding supervisors in this city of Cumberland. Every one of them are doing a great job. They don't agree with me with everything I say or do with them, but I agree that they are doing an outstanding job for this city. And Frank is one of the finest people that this city's ever had the opportunity to hire before. And there's nothing he wouldn't do. He don't have to be concerned with just maintenance, the maintenance department. He'll go to the water plant or the sewer plant And he's done it. Have you not gone down there and fixed electrical problems
I'm
in
here
both
for
buildings?
this city, whatever it takes, I'm here.
He keeps telling me. And finally, I want to let you know that Stanley, this is partially Stanley Davis's idea. Stanley could not do the job. He could not, he was placed in that position. But Stanley,
Here, Mayor.
but this was not, this was a mutual an agreement. There's no problem. The only people complaining about that is the council.
I have a question. Was the job posted and advertised that it was vacant?
No, we filled from within.
But did you post the position at the maintenance warehouse?
No, we filled the position from within.
Well, I feel like we've gotten completely off track. Now
Well,
we're
let's
going to
do-
stay here at 10 o'clock.
No. Okay,
10
okay.
o'clock,
Get on
11
track.
o'clock,
I'm
tonight,
out.
Okay,
and I'm trying. We have other
Chris,
people here.
Chris, you want to make your report now?
Are you sure you want to, Chris?
Get on track.
Chris, how to get up?
Like a normal.
All right.
Chris says, wait a minute, go ahead.
Well,
Lay it on her.
Tell us what you got.
all right, for the month of
Tell us
February
what we owe.
2013, we produced,
Just scoot up here a little bit closer so I can get them on tape.
Come up here so we can get on the tape.
15,907,000 gallons of water compared to 20,997,000 gallons last year for the month of February.
Okay.
You know, we're still finding leaks. We haven't found the big thing yet, you know, so most of the repairs we've been making is, you know, 3/4 inch service lines, inch and a half. We had a 6-inch up on Russell Drive that fed our fire hydrants, you know, 2.5 inch, but nothing really major.
Where are you
yet.
guessing this big leak is? In a 10-inch line, probably?
Well, if it was in that 10-inch that goes up toward Blair, it would be affecting that tank up
And it's
behind
not?
No, we keep an eye on that. We did find that it was overflowing back during the cold months, but we had to go up and thaw out the altitude valve, and we got some insulation and things like that, and made the adjustments to keep it from overflowing. But we just kind of happened to be up there checking the thing, and it wasn't majorly, it was just barely, but we got that stopped. None of the other tanks are overflowing. We did have a backwash pump in our basin outside the back that recently went down. We had an electrical issue that caused damage to the pump. Luckily, CL Boggs happened to have the very same pump on a pallet, you know, in their shop, and they were able to put that in. I mean, that's really unusual, because if we would have to order that pump, it would be 4 to 6 months, which would not have let us backwash those filters, which would, you just have to continuously backwash. That was our latest major problem. Learned a little something new about the number 3 lift station on the pump that we're renting. It did get on an airlock in top of the pump, so they came over, probably weren't here for an hour and a half. We recently had an inspection. Most everything checked out pretty good. There's a concern with glory room door, the crash bar assembly properly working, and the other issue are the chlorinators, which, according to Barker, the senior operator, those things were here when he first started. And I think I mentioned it to you guys in one of my rare meetings with you all once last year. But they are dangerous. It's probably the thing that makes me just want to curl up and run away from it, because I've had a
Do we have a
dose or two
cost
of
for those to repair, replace it?
That's
Yes.
what we got here, is that right there?
Severn and Trent. Yeah.
That's the stuff I'm really worried about in the city is what's going on with the water plant and those agreed orders and the money it's going to take to get all that fixed. But we have to really budget that, and I know that is our #1 priority. We have to have a water sewer plant, and that was one key thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Is what we need out of those stations. And that agreed order, I'm sure, still pertains to those ladders that need to be replaced on those.
The agreed order is, you know, it has been filed in court. I talked with Terry Haas yesterday and asked for some details about the city's status pertaining to the agreed order. And She told me there's not been any communication between the attorneys. They are trying to work on a settlement, but they're not getting any response. So that's all she knows. She said they will keep trying to come upon a settlement agreement before they take it to the next step, which I don't know what that is.
But if
exactly.
we don't have these things fixed, the next step's gonna be pretty gruesome, right?
I'm sure it'll, what did she?
I don't know.
I bet you know.
Bob,
I forgot the lady that filed the complaint. Somebody
They
within,
don't realize you're a new attorney.
I don't know if it's Franklin Circuit Court, to do with, it was just a quick thing on the phone.
Let me interject here. Did you say that the city was not responding?
Yes, not communicating. They've made attempts to communicate with the city.
We've got a
Their
new attorney
attorney
now, though.
Did it say to the city? Who'd they say? I haven't got anything from.
Well, it's in the hands of the attorney.
It would go to the attorney.
Okay, Mr.
They may not realize it's him, though.
They realize that I'm the attorney.
That's probably true where he's an attorney.
But they don't.
She
But
says,
we need to follow up on that right there.
Or we'll
We
be,
need to
the
follow
state
up
will
on
seize it.
that immediately and see what we need to be doing quickly, come up with some money to get these things
Thousands.
resolved very quickly.
Well, this we've got a solution for this right here. That, as a matter of fact, go ahead, Chris.
well, the chlorinators, they weren't included in the agreed order. This kind of occurred with the last inspection, what was last Thursday. I can't keep it. Anyway, he noticed the condition of the chlorinators, and I had to operate the plant. It was Nick X's last, even before he was to go to have his hernia surgery. So he's not short an operator right now and having to fill in. But luckily, when you have to be real gentle with the things because the tubing is real brittle, you get a small crack in it, you won't see it. You open that valve, and man, it's on you before you know what you can do about it. And they're in such bad shape that all it took was a tiny washer that we didn't have. I didn't realize this thing wasn't on there. Luckily, when went to put the thing back on, the tubing just popped out, just like that, with no force or anything, just by the slight
Is that
movement.
inside of that building there?
Yes, it's in the basement.
Yeah, oh my goodness, yeah, I was in there and that.
Oh, it's,
How much pressure
Could
is
have
on that?
evacuation and everything if it.
I'm not sure what the tanks are pressurized at, but when it
There
comes
would be no
out,
way to get away from it.
you have to run. But, but my experience with chlorine gas, because I had an incident when I was in Lynch, and we had a chlorinator clogged up, and it vented through the vent tube. The vent tube is vented on the outside, so whoever's inside the building, there happened to be some children at the park that some missionaries were there, and I had to evacuate the park. It was on them before, and I got in all kinds of trouble overrunning people out of that park. But once it reaches the atmosphere, it expands so quick that and it moves. You have to evacuate depending on the direction of the wind. I mean, it's really serious. And these things, they're old cast iron. I mean, they're fraying. You have to torque them down to make sure you get a proper seal on that chlorinator in the tank. And they're in such bad shape, they're having to take a rubber mallet.
Well, how soon can we
enough
get
tension.
these replaced?
I can make a call tomorrow, and they can be next day aired.
We need to get
It's
this
this
done.
right here.
Well, okay, let me go ahead. This is what we'll have to do. You've got the estimates right there in front of you. We can change the scope in our cold severance tax money, okay? And that's the money we were going to use for the water, sewer plant, and the maintenance building roofing, okay? So we can take this amount of money, less than $10,000, to do what we're talking about here, and fix this within a week's notice. Because Chris told me that he could install it.
It's a simple thing to fix.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we do in-house, you know.
But we can change. It's not that hard of a difficult task to change the severance tax monies to use to a project that has a higher priority. It's just a matter of changing it.
We do need the roof fixed.
Well,
We need to
we're gonna-
prioritize on the roofs too.
Sewer plant first, water plant second, then the maintenance and police station. That's
Well,
but then we'll have the other 25,000 next year to finish what we can't get done.
What I've noticed.
And then we also have a fire truck payment that's gonna have to come up from somewhere.
Shouldn't the roof on the water plant be like
It
a
should be
first
first
part of
because
that?
No,
you got the
no.
open tanks in there
Yeah.
of water, fresh drinking water.
The roof, didn't you tell me it's quit
This is
leaking?
the strange thing. With the past few heavy rains that we've had, the water, there's no puddles, there's no dripping. Maybe the water has changed a course somewhere where it doesn't actually come inside the building anymore.
Does it only happen when it snows? It leaks?
I've not seen any bit of anything out there this
I mean,
whole
it could be
winter.
patched up, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be
If you find the
patched, yeah.
source of it, yeah, it could be
Yeah.
patched right now.
But this is more priority right
Yeah.
now.
Well, this-
Absolutely.
Well, that's what we're talking about, but Carl was talking about a different roof being first.
2 breaths in your deck.
No, I was referring, but go ahead and do
breaths
that.
of chlorine gas.
Well, I take that, I say that we go ahead and put this.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll put this on top of the priority and
Have you
then,
got alarm, just during its stress up, you got alarm for that chlorine gas when it leaks out in the plant? You know, that's a law.
So we need to get that fixed.
That's a law, you gotta have them alarms.
We gotta have that.
using
It didn't
chlorine.
go off when that chlorine came out on
So
me.
it's, maybe it needs
last
calibrating or it's not functioning right.
You can press the test and it will be, but when the chlorine came out on Nick and I last
Didn't
week,
go off.
it didn't go off.
Is it not
Is it got
sensitive enough or
sensors in it?
something?
It has a sensor.
Most of them alarms got sensors in it.
Right, it does have
And
a
your
sensor.
sensors goes dead, so which,
It could
to
very
tell
well.
if it's working right, you could actually take a known amount of calibrated chlorine gas and run through it at a known amount and see if it's going off what's supposed to. If it's not, then the sensor is not calibrated right. That's what we do all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
We
come up there and
definitely
look
want
at
those
it.
to work.
okay, I appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah, because without it working, some of you guys could get hurt.
Thank you.
That's dangerous. You all have an evacuation plan for
We
your
do.
area in there, don't you? And everybody knows where it's at and everything.
Yeah.
But that is the first thing.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
The guys have told me that they run in there and the air was
Honey, I remember you. Carry on.
They just recently installed.
And then I started asking you to know that.
No.
Because I guarantee it's because the attorneys have switched.
There's- We also discovered another
I think he
issue.
should have told us, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
An issue of turbidity.
Before right here, that's what I'm talking about, what he hung up with her today.
Kind of got out of hand a little bit. I wasn't there.
He asked me to get the
I noticed the problem. I showed him. And this is the first
Probably got it with him, don't
incident.
All right, her number.
Probably got it memorized.
Do we have to, need to make a motion on this or anything?
Yes, we would have to have your approval to go ahead and order it.
That's bad. Boy, it goes.
I'm not good with the process.
Chris-
Taken care of.
Chris, would you make sure that our new attorney's got that information from Carrie Haas and things? And I'd appreciate it too, if whenever when they tell you something that important,
Well,
let me know.
I was asked, what is the status?
Yeah.
That's Elliott asked me if I knew, if I'd heard anything about the agreement.
And I meant from Carrie Haas, because that's kind of current,
I didn't talk to her until yesterday. You know, she was just wanting to know what the status of it
Okay.
was. And I didn't find out till yesterday. But, yeah, I'll give you her contact number and things.
Yeah.
I don't know who their attorney is, but she'll give you everything you need. You know, there's a lot of good going and still got problems, you know.
Oh, yeah, we've got to get that. That's been something that we've been hit with for a while now, and we've got to get it taken care of. Nobody wants to see the water and sewer plant shut down.
So,
And we've got, these repairs are right here in front of him. There's more than that. That's just what he needs now.
I'd like to have a motion to go
I'll
ahead
make a
and
motion
purchase it.
for you to make the necessary arrangements to order everything on that list and have it installed.
Call them tomorrow, okay?
I will.
Okay.
I'll
But
second that motion.
motion's made and seconded.
And I'm going by his list.
The whole, let's see.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I know you need it. I know you wouldn't.
And the internal issues with this turbidity, I haven't had time to, there's apparently some calibrations that are on program with CL Boggs that every now and then he has to come over, but we're having to do a lot of extraordinarily amount of backwashing, which is putting a strain on us keeping water in our clear well. You know, the tanks are holding good, but said, it's just something that happened recently. It really wasn't an issue. I don't know if these filters need a more in-depth look at what's going on with the media, or if there's an issue with the filtration rates.
Could it be something to do with the weather we've been having? Would that affect it anyway with that media and stuff in the park?
Well, and I don't know if it's because of what got in there that we're having trouble getting out to.
Okay.
There's a second motion, second right there. Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Have a roll call vote. Yvonne?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Yes,
Nathan?
absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor, okay. Unanimous.
I'd also like to make a motion that Mr. O'Brien would show up wherever.
Be here for every council meeting until we get our agreed orders and stuff taken care of.
Okay.
Because only he will know what we need to know about the finances to take care of it.
I second.
I'll be here if I'm not having a bug one. But Mr. Exel's going to be out for quite a few. I mean, he had a pretty bad hernia, so he won't be back till after the 21st or 22nd, depending on after he gets all the state and things like that. But so I'm going to have to fill in. I'm going to be locked in the water plant for quite some time. So, there is an agreed order for the sewer plant. It's not been signed yet, which can be a problem. If it's not signed, they will up that.
Why hasn't it been signed?
I don't know.
Is the lawyer supposed to, who's supposed to sign it? The lawyer or
The mayor.
the mayor's supposed to sign it?
Did we see a
No,
copy
they
of
come-
everything that's
Sewer
come through
plant?
from the state, or we could, actually, I called
Parker-
the state
Par-
lady, and
Parker,
she sent me she sent me a copy of every agreed order that Cumberland's ever received, or on this last issue that we're.
We need to get
I mean,
that
it's not-
signed.
It's not the, you know, it was when last year issued, so that we could find out what's going on there too.
I do remember reading something on reorder, you know, we're supposed to
That was last year's agreed
serve
order, but I'm not.
them each month and let them know what we've, progressed,
What we've
what
done.
we, after we this and that. That was real stiff.
After you sign one, then you're to give a monthly progress
We haven't signed it yet.
but there's one that's not been signed.
Oh, we got
I know that Carrie said that if it went as far as going to court where the judge actually got a hold of it. Now, I found this information out when I made rounds with her when she was here. I went and talked plant. And she said, if you show that judge, yes, I'm doing progress, I'm working on this, I really want to keep it. She said, he'd be more lenient with you. So they look at it and say, okay, well, just stand it. I mean,
It's when
honestly.
you fail to make communication with them or sign these orders, they're gonna get huffy. Him being a lawyer, he's looking at it and saying, it's true, I mean, you gotta work with them.
Well, Parker refused, for some reason, Parker says, let's not sign that agreed order. Says, you can't be penalized for anything until you sign the order, and he says, let's work with him, and he is working with him. But you haven't talked with Parker concerning those?
No,
He's the one that kept me from signing the agreed order, okay, on the sewer plant, and that's why it's still up in the air.
Well, we
Because,
need to get that.
well, okay, we'll let Parker, we'll let our attorney talk with Parker about
Certainly, I will
it.
speak tomorrow
Okay,
morning. First
and,
thing, if I get the contact information, I will jump on this first thing. But in terms of agreed order, I'm assuming there's a case out there. I don't even know what case you're referring to.
You'd have to have some
case
time to
numbers or
research it.
anything?
Yeah. Mhm.
You do have a case number for me? 'Cause
Yes,
then I can pull
yeah,
everything.
right, yeah,
Okay, great.
right.
Let them know that
Yeah.
at least you're your new lawyer. and
Certainly.
you're just gonna-
Yeah.
Because he is new, a lot of them don't know that he's our new attorney.
Oh, okay. Can you call here and then I can call here and then sure.
Okay, if you would, I've got the file back here.
Oh, okay. Well, I can look at it.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I had a question for you concerning the confined space entry training. I did talk with names, the fellow I spoke with you about.
Yeah,
He had
because I
mentioned that
confined spaces.
I meant to get with you prior to this, so I could give some information about the training, but anyway, he works for the state and had mentioned that he can come in for 3 people. He can do, as long as you have a certain amount of employees, get this training, that it will be at no cost to the city. It's like they cover the confined space, the 1910 CSF.
That's under 1910, section 146.
But he said that his training would be left up, because when I asked him if when he came in and visited, would it satisfy OSHA?
You know, and let me say something too, Frank, on that. When we're talking about
Chris.
I got Frank, I'm sorry. But on that confined space, there's more than one avenue to look at that. Number one, first, and I'd like to go around to your place and just see what y'all designate as confined space.
Probably not.
You know, everything's not a confined space, even some confined space places, you know, it's got acceptable entry conditions and it's got unacceptable entry conditions. On the acceptable entry conditions, where you're performing work in that, you know, you don't have to have as much equipment and follow as much regulations. But the ones that's not acceptable, that consist of maybe atmospheric conditions or dust conditions or low oxygen conditions, then you have to have all that instruments, which have, you said you all got the equipment, you have handheld instruments, you got auxiliary fans or anything that you might need for that, you know. And then you all have actually written you up a confined space entry permit, you know, in place, you got that. And you have actually defined all the confined spaces on Cumberland's property, right? Okay, that's good on that part, you know. But the thing about it is, if you have a lot, certain confined spaces requires that you have a backed up rescue team, right? Okay. And this has to be, you know, it don't have to be no amount of people, but the people's on rescue team, they have to be trained and certified in CPR and basic first aid and stuff like that. And then they had to go through the training. And just like OSHA under 75, you know, under that 1910-146 and so forth, you got the 10-hour program, you got the 30-hour program. The 30-hour program is for all supervisors, whereas the 10-hour program is just for individual workers in the whole city, you know, and stuff like that, really. Right. But all these, you know, it's good training. Oh, Lord, I mean, I wish that we had a lot of our city employees OSHA trained.
Would the 10-hour program, would that be all we needed to do?
The 10-hour can bring in 3 to 4 hours of confined space into training.
Well, that means you have to be there 3 to 4 hours working, and is that what you're saying?
The program 10-hour course itself consists of just 3.5 hours of confined space training. The other has to go to the OSHA standards and everything.
Well, I know you don't have to, but if you get a chance and get with him, since you're knowledgeable about it, you'd be informative.
I really won't go over, and I might get a chance to come up there tomorrow or Thursday. Just depends. I'm going to come up there and just, you know, maybe I can help you a little bit on
Chris has all kinds of certificates and things that is required to sign off on other people and things.
But, yeah, but the thing about it, a lot of the things that OSHA would come in and inspect the city of Cumberland, if we had some people with OSHA trained, they would be, you know, qualified in certain things, certified in certain things to perform that work, maybe where we wouldn't have to hire these companies.
Well, that's what I said, it would save buku money. I said
Yeah,
that
in the long run,
was
it's gonna save the city.
Yeah, because we're spending all kinds of money on confined space to get somebody to come up here and work.
Yeah, usually when we have to get somebody in one of those, we get a $6,000-7,000 bill. Where if we had our employees trained, we're paying them by the hour.
Yeah.
Would the fire department suffice for that?
As long as they've been, they can, even the police department can. As long as they've been trained in confined space entry and they all are certified in advanced first aid and CPR techniques and
so
stuff
they
like
have to know the confined space too.
Yeah, they would have to have
I mean, I'm talking about your emergency team, that's the confined space training.
And then the people you get in your confined space training too have to be knowledgeable about what they're going to go work on, right?
Right.
So if you have some that ain't familiar with what they got to work on.
Well, see, that's where that comes in.
With that training?
Each confined space area you've got might require different confined space entry permits.
Okay.
These permits actually signifies the dangers, the hazards, and everything that's in that confined space area that they're working in. Some might be less, some might not be none. But the thing about confined space, you have to have what we call an entry, and that's the person that goes in and does the work. But you always have to keep a attendant outside that confined space area, and he's not allowed to go in there. He's actually monitoring the entrance that's in there in case they get in trouble or something happens, you know, to where he would have to rescue them or anything like that, you know. There's so much into it, but it, you know.
Are you going to be able to conduct the training for that? Or?
Well, I could. I didn't know where
Could be a
would be conflict be in the city or what, though, Paul.
You'd have to contact the League of Cities probably to find
If
out.
it was no conflict, I could, but I don't want to be in
Yeah.
conflict with me as a council member, you know, and doing city work or nothing like that, you know.
Yeah.
But yet I've still got instructors in my thing that ain't in the city that could teach the class, and I
okay.
wouldn't even have nothing to do with it.
Right, okay.
Too, you know, if proposal.
We need, we
Right.
seriously
We
need
need all the help
that.
we
We
can get.
save
And
all
I'm
kinds of
not,
money.
you know about that stuff. That's something I'm not, I know a little about.
And Chris most definitely requires the training. He's the supervisor.
And summing it all up,
I
my
thought
other
about
big concern is hepatitis vaccinations. You got the employees that's going to be
Absolutely.
given.
And you know, that's another thing too, you know, when we get the shots, they have to take, that's social standards and everything too, that's law.
That could we get that
Not
done?
only
Do they
that,
have to take it, or do they sign a permit? I mean, can't they sign a
it
refusal?
depends what their, yeah, they can
Yeah,
sign
that's what-
refusal,
that's what I
but it
said.
depends what their job exposure is to and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's just like here at the city of Cumberland, we should, your teams, you workers, everything, you're supposed to have somebody, at least one person trained in bloodborne pathogens, and that's a yearly training with bloodborne pathogens.
Is everybody up to their shots or need their shots for this?
Everybody needs their shots.
We need to get that done
Don't the
too.
health department do that?
Yeah, but even with health department, you're talking big bucks.
Big
Oh,
bucks,
no.
yeah.
Is that right?
Big
Are there
bucks.
3 series of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we still, if it's mandatory, I mean, there's no way around it.
their health card.
But you do,
Get ours funded.
that's the reason I asked Jerry, because I'm on a medical bill.
And
You
it's on
sign
the
sheets
network?
and I don't want it.
See, I can even train and issue bloodborne pathogens certificates, because I'm actually through American Guard Association, through the ASHA, American Health and Safety Institution as well, that's the,
See, when I was working, I could do that too. but-
and we could train you, and we could train the amount of people we need in CPR certification, basic first aid, and give them certificates in that. Basically, I could actually give all certificates just about the city with me, basically. You know, if we got together on it or something like that.
Well, until we get that, we still can't go in the, you know.
Right.
I can go when you want me going.
We'll tie a rope on Jerry and send him down there.
It just, even like this backwash pump went down in the basin, the base needs shoveled out. I mean, it's really deep, and there you've got all this, which probably helped attribute to the thing going. But there it's sat, you know, we pump it down with different sump pumps.
Did they give y'all a time? Was that one of the things?
They
on the
didn't
top?
give us a time, it's just a, it's
They
the
just
thing like,
told you need to do.
you have to do it, you cannot go into anything until you have it.
I'll get up with you, Chris, I'm gonna walk around and see what y'all got on. So I'll.
We get a lot of this
If
stuff.
there's a quarry break, what, are the ventilation systems that do that, are they in good operating order? Do
Well,
they do what they're supposed to do?
they ventilate it out, but it's vented outside, so it's
Which is
But there's no
illegal,
warning
right?
being made if that sensor in the warning system wasn't, it didn't go off, you say?
No, it didn't.
People, that's a real serious thing right there. That's serious, that's.
Is there some kind of stop valve that chlorine that says if something breaks, it shuts it off at a point where it can't escape?
If one of the tubing cracks,
So hell, he didn't say anything he wants to. He called the state on us tomorrow.
they do make it repair, but it's,
Go ahead and start opening them.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly.
We need to move on, Chris. So go ahead, your first thing in the morning, you're gonna order this? Tell all the troops that's got a health card or health insurance to go down and get their hepatitis shots anytime they want to at the clinic, okay? I mean, they'll have to schedule them though,
what if the guys can't afford it?
but they got the health insurance.
But
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily pay for those.
What it don't cover, we need to pick up.
Check with the insurance
Yeah.
tomorrow, but I don't know, shots.
Don't they
Paid
cover
for mine, paid for mine, my insurance.
I will check with health department and see what a series is and see how much it costs. I will check and let you know. That's the cheapest route to go, I know that health department is, and when I worked there, it was still sky.
11 years ago, when I first took mine, it was $90 per shot.
Well, honey, things is up now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Take my, take my.
Would you,
So I'll check on that
Wayne, would you
tomorrow.
want to go ahead and make your committee report now?
I will.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
That was real informational.
Thank you for your good job.
We were until you come.
Oh, wait, show up.
Nobody likes to see a policeman. Didn't you know that?
That's a heck of a way to start off.
Thank you, Wayne.
You got what's for David?
Wayne, you didn't have time to, I didn't know.
Well, I was getting ready to say to Miss Elliott, ain't right?
No, but I'm working on that. I'm working on a program.
I remember her asking for that.
Another thing I need to inform the council, I know the mayor knows, but I'm gonna inform you all. We had a fire recently in the city of Lynch. And one of our cruisers got injured in that incident. Actually, the lady's house was burning down. Our car was sitting in the middle of the road with fire trucks and sirens, blue lights and everything was on. It was extremely slick that morning, and she could not stop, and she hit the rear end of our police car. And not knowing the estimate, but I've got one coming, but it will be probably several $1,000 fixed back, but it is drivable. It
But
is
she
drivable.
has insurance, she hit you in the back, she has paid
Oh,
for it.
yeah, and we had the blue lights and everything, we were sitting right beside the fire truck, she just slid in there, and my officer was not in the car, so.
Great.
There was no injuries or he wasn't in the car, but the reason we got dispatchers there, Lynch didn't have an officer on duty, and we had real good, reasonable, probable cause that there might be someone still in the house, and we want somebody by.
Well, we agreed,
No,
we
agreed to that.
we agreed years ago that we would respond,
Respond to
so.
a fire, especially if somebody gets out.
Absolutely. It ain't worse, I'd rather sacrifice a car, see somebody get burned up.
Car total and get somebody burned or injured or something.
And I'm glad the
Bad
officer wasn't in
injuries.
it.
Yeah, but the officer was, I'd say probably 15, 20 foot away from the car when it got struck, so.
They're just like anybody else, they're prone to have an
Yeah,
accident.
that's exactly right. But she does have Farm Bureau insurance. I won't tell you what her name is. Y'all
That's
probably.
fine.
No, we don't need
We
to
don't
know
need to
anyway.
know.
We checked with the insurance and they're willing to, whatever the estimates we come up with, they said they would repair it, so.
We're gonna take
So
it to the
it's dri-
dealership and
I
have
I was
it
getting
fixed.
ready to say, is it drivable now,
today,
would you
and
say?
they will give me an estimate probably in the morning. They looked at the pictures of Creech's, I'm talking about Creech Wayne knows.
Okay.
And if that don't do us, we'll take it across the mountain over to the auto world, Dodge, Chrysler,
Yeah, as
whatever.
long as we get a dealership to fix it.
Right. And the big fix
Make sure
right,
it's
you know what I'm
structurally
saying?
sound and
And
everything.
it's got a lot of damage. The mayor's saying it, I don't think it.
I wouldn't
Personally, I don't
drive it
think
if
we
it's
do
like
it
that.
in-house, and I don't think he thinks we can either.
No.
There's a lot of damage in the
Well,
rear end.
no,
of
you
it,
don't
so.
need to do it
And
in-house,
we-
it's covered by
and we got-
insurance.
That's exactly right. So let's fix it back right.
And
Like it was
you
when we
know,
tore up, so.
yeah, I mean, they're foolish to not get fixed right.
So is it drivable right now,
Yeah,
did you
it's
say?
drivable right now, yeah.
It's still, it's
Is
on
it
the
safe
road.
to
Yeah, is
drive?
it safe to drive?
Well, yeah.
If it's
Creature-
not,
Creature
park
said
it.
it was. Creature said it was. Only thing's wrong with it, the bumper's gone and the trunk lid won't stay shut.
Oh, okay.
The structure wise.
Knocked all the
everything else-
plastic off of it and
Yeah,
beat it
that's
in.
basically what it did.
That cars don't stand up like they
And
used to.
you know, everything,
They're
everything else is
plastic.
plastic, and you hit things and it breaks like glass, it falls off and, you know, that does, so.
But what about tires, everybody's tires?
Tires, we still got an issue, but we need some tires, but we'll, I guess we'll have to wait till we get a budget, but we do need tires on police cars. At least 4 more.
Well, everybody's hollering a budget, we passed.
We passed our
passed
budget.
our
Passed
budget.
the budget.
We
The mayor
passed
has the budget, but
The
we don't
budget's-
have the new budget for the
Right,
next
for the
coming
next
year.
coming year.
But you have a budget. We passed
you've
it,
got a budget.
Yeah,
what, 2 weeks ago?
Last time I was here, we
Yeah,
got.
yeah, you were here.
Yeah, we passed the budget. So I don't know where that's coming from, but
And did
We
you get that place
overspend our
fixed up
salt.
there that's got that hole that the city's already got the money
it's
for?
got to give away.
Well, why not?
So we got it fixed.
Well, did the city, did you put anything?
I don't know.
Not yet, but I'm still receiving money on it.
Thank you, ma'am. I was reaching, feeling my pocket for